good friend Angie, who used to be a part of Crimson Gaming before she moved up in the world.
Oh, hey. I miss everybody. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, but you are now so we're going to be interviewing her about the Jazz new esports league, the 2K league, to be specific. But you are now, instead of the overlord for Crimson Gaming, you are now the manager for the Jazz esports league?
Yeah, I'm a flavor of manager. I'm the Jazz gaming manager, so that means I'm over a lot of community operations. I'm going to be over the 2K league team, actually, as the team manager, also foreseeing, the operations and fun stuff that goes on with that, and everything in between related to that.
So basically the catch-all of if it needs to get done.
Yeah, some flavor of that for sure.
So if you don't mind, because I know initially I was kind of confused as to what the Jazz Esports League actually was, if you wouldn't mind just explaining for those that maybe aren't familiar what exactly the league is and what they're planning on doing.
Yeah, so what has happened is the NBA and Take-Two, the publisher, are teaming up to create the NBA 2K League. So we will be playing NBA 2K18, which is a newly released title, and 17 NBA teams actually have purchased a spot in this gaming esports league.
Wow. Okay, so on these teams, it's the gamers go to these NBA teams and audition, or how are these teams
How does this
made?
work? Yeah, so it's actually a really exciting endeavor that we're about to jump into. Starting January 1st, it's actually an open tryout. Anybody can try out for the NBA 2K League. So what happens is starting January, you have to play essentially and win 50 ranked games, which are called Pro M mode within the NBA 2K series. And then from there, you fill out an online application, and if you succeed and meet all the requirements, then you're going to be invited to tryouts that are coming in February. So a few weekends of tryouts will proceed, and then after that, you'll actually will determine who the top players are within the tryouts out of the thousands that will try out and make it, and we're going to draft from those top players.
Interesting.
So I'm a little interested to know, because typically sports like basketball, especially NBA teams, you don't typically associate them with video games. In fact, they're quite separate. So how was it that the NBA decided that they wanted to sponsor something like this, where you get professional video gamers coming in and playing in a league?
Well, I can't speak to the sole deciding factor, last straw that broke the camel's back or anything like that to what made the NBA decide that, we need to jump into it. But I can say that it's been an overall trend. I mean, you've noticed it here on campus where, we have a varsity esports team now. This is the new sport of the millennials. This is what all the kids are turning into.
This is what we millennials do.
Yes. Yeah. We're unplugging from cable. We don't care about that anymore. We don't like watching these commercials. We don't like the packages that were sold. So we turn to Netflix. We turn to Hulu. We watch all of our content online. We watch other people playing video games on Twitch. So I think that it's been kind of right time, right place.
And in Utah, the community for it is just so fertile right now. Going to the League of Legends viewing party that we ended up having, to where we rented out Buffalo Wild Wings, and we were making the other sports fans in the bar go like, what the hell is going on in the right-hand corner?
Yeah.
As we're waving there with our Thunder Sticks and stuff, going like, it's going on for 70 minutes. The amount of passion that we have for gaming in Utah is rivaling that of big sports games like the U of U, and that's why it's really going to esports now, because it is the next big sport. It's what people really want. And now that we have a bunch more, as you say, like millennials that are going like, I don't want to deal with like cable and stuff, like you can't watch football on Twitch. It's just not going to be there.
You can recently.
Really?
That is also true. There's a lot of, with this new branching off, you should say, things like Twitch streaming, big events, like I believe the CMAs and the other award shows have been Twitch streamed, and a lot of things are on Twitch or Facebook Twitter Live or anything and everything.
Yeah.
Simply because that cable package is not appealing to a 20-something in college who's paying for everything else.
Well, I am learning actually more than I thought I was going to learn today.
Yeah.
So back to you, Angie.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm agreeing with Kimmy. It's completely a different medium. It's not just a medium where I think that a lot of today's generation is ready to just sit and passively watch something happen and to watch all this content produced. They want to be in the middle of the content. Like, half of the fun of Twitch is memeing with a bazillion other viewers who are all on the, give my team this energy hype train or whatever they're doing. They want to be involved, and it's more than, I think, than just watching other people play video games or just watching esports tournaments on Twitch. Twitch has become this new source where you can have all sorts of content creation. Like, I think IRL streams, as you had mentioned, are kind of really picking up. And I mean, if you wanted to watch a Sword Art Online marathon, or no, it was a Naruto marathon, actually. Sorry. Yeah, a Naruto marathon, or if you want to watch a Bob Ross marathon, like, you can do that on Twitch. It's crazy.
That happen on Twitch now. It's really cool to see that change.
Not only does the chat in Twitch have the ability to, like, oh, we're gonna send love to our team, but for the first time, like, watching TV, or at least like feeling like you're kind of watching TV, you can actually say exactly what you want, and they, like, you can tell that they know what you're saying because they're, like, talking back to you at a live pace.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? Did you watch the movie that came out earlier this year, Nerve?
Oh, yes. That's
what
right
it reminds me of a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have either of you seen that movie?
What is that?
So it's a similar concept where somebody develops this app where you can live stream yourself doing dangerous stunts and stuff like that, and people will offer to donate money and give you suggestions of things to do, and they'll say, I'll give you $100 if you do this, and then you live stream yourself doing said thing, and then you get their $100. And the more dangerous they
I remember watching the trailer
money.
for it, and I was just like, that hits a little too close to home.
You know, I
Because
feel like
it kind of ended
Yeah.
up feeling a little bit like, I double dog dare you to go jump off that cliff. And then at that point,
that's pretty much how the concept of it went, and that's to a degree where you could see things like Twitch and a lot of our social media going, because they're super interactive but anonymous at the same time. So there's lots of, risk taking without as much risk.
So I'm sure I'm sure this is part of the reason why, again, the NBA is so interested in stuff like this, because it's really hard to avoid the amount of publicity that Twitch and gaming and stuff is getting. So, I mean, kind of jumping back to the tournament then, I'm also a little interested to know how the tournament is actually going to run, because, I'm not super familiar with NBA 2K or anything like that, but I know you can only have a few players at any given time. So is it going to be like you have a roster of people to choose from, and then at any certain game event, they choose maybe 2 or 3 of them to play for that team, or how is that going to work?
So what's going to happen is, in the draft in March, we're actually going to select 5 players to be on our Jazz Gaming team. It's a fully salaried position, so you're going to make money by being on the team for that contract.
Wow.
Yeah, you're going another thing that I think people are really excited about is the fact that there's going to be a Jazz gaming house. So we're going to have that set up, and so the players are actually going to come here, whether they are a local making it on the team or whether they come from New York City or wherever they're from. They're going to come in and live in Salt Lake City, actually, for the series.
That is really cool.
So yeah, within the game, it's a 5-on-5 mode that we're going to be playing competitively. So we'll have 5 players, and those 5 players will be playing in the league. And I can't speak to the schedule just yet, but I know that the NBA 2K League is going to be releasing more information about that, probably on their website. I think it's NBA2KLeague.com.
We'll have a link below.
Yeah.
So it is going to be different than actual basketball, though, in that regard, because I know actual basketball teams have a huge roster of people, and at any given time they may only have a handful of them out on the court. So it sounds like it's going to be quite a bit different from like an actual basketball game.
For sure. It's going to be very much the same in some ways, because you're going to notice that there are a lot of perks and a lot of in-game knowledge that is in-game knowledge for not only actual basketball, but for the 2K18 game as well. And I don't know. It's kind of an interesting parallel of the two worlds, where you've got the physical, traditional basketball, and everyone is familiar with that, and then just the virtual version of that. So they are going to be playing, I think, with their own newly created in-game avatars of, I think, themselves. And
wow, that's gonna be interesting.
That's really
it'd be pretty fun.
That'll be cool.
Like in the league, I know that like in other NBA games, you basically get to pick what team you're playing against someone, and then you play from that roster. Is it going to be like whatever teams are playing can pick any team, or is it going to be like they are the team that they're representing in actual
Are they always
life
going to be
in
playing
game?
as the Utah Jazz?
Yeah, we're playing as Jazz Gaming, and so we're going to have our own digital representation in whatever form those avatars may take on an actual court.
That is
2K,
really cool.
Wow.
yeah, 2K is
So
actually
you're literally playing virtual basketball.
yeah, basically. So 2K is really interesting because you can customize a whole bunch of things within the game. So down from, like we were talking about, your avatar, you can have, custom jerseys that are the Jazz Gaming jerseys, which, all the way down to your sports sponsor logos on your jersey, you can have that customized. And you can also customize the court. Like you can have, we can have a basketball court virtually with the Jazz Gaming logo smack dab in the middle, and we'll be playing on that.
I can wait now to see people just wanting to put memes all over the basketball.
Boy.
Just
Yes.
like if I can see the troll face right underneath the hoop, I will be good.
I mean, if you want to pay enough sponsorship dollars,
I know.
we'll put whatever meme you want on that court, honey. Yeah.
Put the rage faces and stuff
Just
on
use
it.
the whole Geekwave budget. Get that logo in there.
like one that's
It'll be
probably about as
Like
big
this
as
big,
this
that
Deathwing
big.
that's just like stapled onto the floor, and it's our budget for the next month.
You guys get like 6 pixels.
Got it. Okay.
Anyway.
So is it
R6.
this team that they're getting this time around? Is it going to stay the same team for a while, or are they going to kind of choose a new selection of people each season, or how's that going to work?
I wish that I could tell you more about that. I know that that's still something that we are trying to finalize as a league. So I can't speak to what they are going for, or if they're going to do another iteration on this open tryout for everybody, or if they're going to take the players that we do have and then maybe give them a higher standing, like when you're playing ranked Overwatch or something, you do a soft reset. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways that they could end up doing that. So it'll be interesting to see for sure what they end up selecting for season 2.
Maybe they'll end up with like a panel like you do real basketball, where they're
Yeah.
trading players between teams every year,
That could
Possibly.
be really interesting
paying them out,
and really,
yeah,
really cool.
buying them out. Maybe it'll happen. I mean, esports is really the
It's
new
really, really
big
growing.
thing.
A lot of it's changing. I don't know if I'm prepared to have my heart broken. Like have another Gordon Hayward basically equivalent for Jazz Gaming and then have them go somewhere else. That would hurt.
Are you going to have something, especially in the gaming thing, to where like not only is your face the one recognizable and stuff, but like your profile, your gamer tag, stuff like that? Are they going to have it to where the people that are on the Jazz team have some kind of like in-game special emblem and stuff that shows that they are on a professional team? I know that they don't do that with
yeah.
anything like Overwatch or something, but for something that's linked directly to the NBA via the Jazz,
Right.
is it somewhat different?
Oh, are you saying in game from a public standpoint? Like if there was a public lobby and you
Yeah,
happen
like
to run
would
into
you
this
be able
player?
to go like, oh, like that's the person?
Yeah, I'm not. I can't say that I'm entirely too familiar with the features that 2K will be rolling out. I do know that they are designing a lot of fun stuff specifically for the purpose of organizing and facilitating the league and the tryouts that are happening. So I'm sure that something will come out and they'll have something to kind of celebrate those players. But, well, time will tell.
But like for something with sports games, just because I've never actually really seen too many leagues built around a sports game, of like how much different it's actually going to be compared to like the FPS, or like I just don't know the community around sports games that much to make that call.
Yeah, it's definitely different, and I know that we are wanting to emulate a lot of things that are really popular in esports. I mean, it is an esport after all, what we're building here and wanting to get into. But I think another thing to take into consideration is that the folks who are playing NBA 2K competitively are a different niche than the players who are playing League of Legends. Like the whole, I think, sports game community sometimes has a different subsection than what exists in what I think other
very true.
Yeah,
I think it'll be really interesting to see how the sports gaming community gets encompassed into esports, and I think that would bridge the gap more than.
Yeah, and I mean, for the folks that are dedicated 2K18 fans, whether they're dedicated basketball fans, I think there's a very heavy crossover in the NBA 2K community of people who love NBA games and love NBA teams and love this video game that is all about the same thing. And that community has some crossover, but doesn't necessarily encompass the typical, I think, what people think of as an esports fan, where they love League of Legends and CSGO and all those things.
You know, I think it will serve to bridge a lot of gaps, though,
Oh, yeah.
because I know a lot of people that are into the esports stuff that are going to be interested now in basketball because of this, and vice versa. I know there are probably a lot of people interested in NBA and sports that are now going to be interested in esports and video games because of this. So I feel like this could bridge a lot of gaps, and this could be a really huge step in changing the way we do sports, video games, everything. So I think this is really cool.
Finally, the nerds will be able to get along with the jocks at the table in high school.
Curse
That's
you,
what we're
elementary
trying to
school
build here.
days.
Yeah.
Look who's laughing now.
Sports fans are just another flavor of nerd. We're all nerds at heart. That's what I
Yes.
feel like.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's definitely true.
So as for my wrap-up question here, how successful and which direction do you think it's going to go into?
In what direction?
What's your
effect?
end goal?
Yeah,
Like
the domino
I think it's a
effect, or-
sideways direction, but also vertical at the same time. No, it's I think that I think that we are going to explore, and I think we're going to do really well in the community that we've decided to serve, because NBA 2K18 is a very underserved community, and they, I think, want the high production value, and they want the attention that this league is going to be bringing to them. And it's such a cool, inclusive community in the short time that I've been a part of it, so I'm super excited to see where it goes. As far as future esports, we'll see, and soon TM. That's not I know that's not the answer you want, but
It's
a
the
lot
one
of-
that we'll take.
it's a lot of soon TM. We'll see. Yeah.
Just because it is like really just unpaved ground at this point, as
Yeah.
proven by the fact that like not even a year ago did we have a collegiate team for esports. So everything's coming out new. And you can stay at the Geekwave in order to figure out what those things are going to be doing. Or you can check out Angie's previous dominion of Crimson Gaming, or her new dominion of Jazz Esports League.
Jazz Gaming, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, jazzgaming.gg for more information, or to sign up for any email updates. Or follow us on social media. Just search for Utah Jazz Gaming, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Again, we'll put a bunch of links
yeah,
down below.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So you
It'll
don't
be a
have to
there.
read all
very
that.
colorful description at the bottom. Yes.
All right.
So
All right. I think that pretty much wraps us for this episode. Yeah. I don't think, do we have anything else? Yeah, I think we're just going to say geek out.
Geek out, guys.
Geek out.
Geek out.
Hi guys, thanks for watching that video from the Geekwave. If you liked it, there's more over here. As always, like and subscribe below, and if you want more Geekwave content, you can always go to our Facebook and Twitter pages. And then after that, if you've found what floats your boat, go to thegeekwave.com.